Now, Major Mandisa Mfeka made history by becoming the first Black female combat pilot in South Africa. She is the epitome of the result of liberal upbringing and uses her platform Winged Spanner to combat financial illiteracy and advocates for disadvantaged people. Major Mandisa has turned her dreams into a reality, inspiring everyone to do the same. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Jenny. I'm very excited.
You are my real-life superhero. You are literally the most incredible woman I've ever met. What led you to dreaming of flying?
Well, it was definitely my mother and my grandmother when I was a child. They used to take us to Virginia Airport for the air shows when they used to be there. And she used to park her car outside on the fence, just outside the fence, and we used to watch the airplanes fly by, and I used to be so mesmerized, you know. At that stage, though, I was like 5 years old, 6 years old, and I didn't realize that that career option was available to me.
Yeah.
It wasn't until I was 16 that I discovered the Air Force, and I was like, oh my God, this girl can become a pilot. I was very excited.
So what happened? You finished your matric, and then what do you join the army? Do you join the Air Force? Like, what is...
yeah, so the process is definitely, I completed matric, and then I joined the South African Air Force.
Okay.
And from there, we obviously do some training in order to change the civilian in you, in order to make you a military practitioner. You must know how to handle weapons, and you must be able to understand the rank structure and the etiquette within the military.
So you join the military and the Air Force, and so what's it like? Is it like going to boarding school, essentially?
It's a bit tougher than boarding school.
So give us a rundown on what your year was like.
Sure, okay. When we did our basic military training, it was tough. Like, we were, you know, you get trained physically, you know.
So what kind of things do you eat?
You know, we try to make it more protein, because you're trying to build strength at the end of the day. You want to be somebody who can endure long distances without food, for instance. You want to be somebody who is strong and agile, quick thinking. So definitely protein. And
then you just train the whole day?
No. Well, in the beginning part, yes, it's definitely the training. But once you qualify, then you actually start, you know, operating. You're an employee, and you have daily tasks that you must do. With us, we have flying duties, so we have...
So when did you actually start learning how to fly? Was that in your first year, or...?
No, with us, so the first 2 years was basic military training, officers formative, and then the next year was a year at the military academy, where you start learning aeronautical science and aerodynamics. And then after that, we started flying in 2010. So,
what was it like for you the first time you got into? I mean, because it's combat plane. I mean, that's not. I mean, that's insane. I literally have goosebumps. I mean, how fast does that thing go?
Oh, yeah.
Is that the one that you see at the air show going, and then you hear it?
Yes, So with Hawk, you get to, we call it transonic, and that is basically where you start approaching the speed of sound, so you're traveling at the same rate. And then with Gripen, you leave the sound behind. So you go faster than the speed of sound.
Have you ever felt fear? Because I don't think you do.
I think on some levels there are different parts of fear, but also interpreting fear correctly. If it's nerves keeps you agile, you know, because now you want to execute your duty properly. You want to make sure that you complete your checks. So being nervous keeps you on your, you know, on the tiptoe, you know, where you're reacting quickly. But fear, I think, if it's something that's debilitating that keeps you from acting, no, I think maybe in a personal life, in a personal level, but it's also nervous of, am I going to be able to do this? Am I going to be strong enough? Am I going to be fast enough? Am I going to pick up the skills quick enough? Am I going to be able to execute things properly, you know? Because combat flying is very precision-based, you know.
Of course.
You know, we have to take off at a specific time. When we're at an airport, for instance, we have to tell them, you know, there's a critical takeoff time, which means that they have to plan for that and make sure that the airspace is available for us so that we can reach the target on time. And then, you know, when you're planning a fly pass, for instance, you get all the aircrafts coming by, we want to make that time, you know. So execution, precision, excellence.
What is the role of the combat planes in South Africa?
Okay, so with us, we're involved in peacekeeping missions with the United Nations. So we protect the borders of South Africa. So we keep up the sovereignty of the country, and also if we get engaged by enemy forces, the combat pilots are the ones that go first, especially Grippins. So you are the one who either neutralize or you engage the bandits, or you're the first one to stop the enemy.
I mean, I think if the enemy just had to get one look at you, they'd be like, yeah, take me. You can cut me any day.
Thank you. So kind.
What does your business Wingspanner do?
Okay, so Wingspanner is my financial literacy platform. And the reason I started it is that I realized that young people, and people actually in South Africa, we sort of are in this state where we're in constant survival mode. You know, poverty, where if you're hungry, you're not going to be able to think about passion. You're not going to be able to think about the things that you love.
Sure.
So if I teach somebody how to read the financial instruments, how to buy your first stock or your share, then you're able to dream a little bit.
Yeah.
You're able to listen to that heart inside and pursue it. And also just being able to pay for yourself to get there, especially aviation. Aviation is such an expensive industry.
I'm sure.
Especially if you're doing it private, the kids sometimes are unfortunate and they're not able to get the bursaries, We're fortunate in the military because we get trained by the military.
Yeah.
So Wingspanner, I aim to firstly motivate and show people that you have that capacity within yourself. And then obviously putting in the skills for you to reach that and showing you how, you know. So I'm very passionate about that.
I have to tell you, I went to go and watch Captain Marvel at the movies the other day, and I thought it was absolutely rubbish. You, my darling, are my real-life superhero.
Oh, thank you.
We just exalt you and celebrate you as the perfect epitome of the Afternoon Express woman. Oh, thank you for being on the show.
So
what an
much.
honor for me to interview you. You're amazing.
So much. Thank you.